Securing a roof over your head is something that should be relatively easy in Ireland at this point in time, you would think, given what we're told about the state of the economy, how things are on the up, the perceived general satisfaction of the Irish electorate with their current government. But yet, there is a housing crisis in place at the minute that's becoming increasingly worse. And of course, that has a knock-on effect for people that want to secure a roof over their heads. So there's a story that I want to look at in particular today that is actually taken from the journal IE, or predominantly taken from the journal IE. So props to them. This is to do with a new housing development in County Kildare. You can see the picture there, queues of people standing, been out all night, some of them sleeping in their cars to secure one of these properties in a very desirable area of Ireland. They were gone in minutes. Dozens of first-time buyers miss out as new Kildare homes are snapped up. More than 100 people had gathered at the new houses by 8 a.m. the morning they went on sale, over 2 hours ahead of the official viewing. So there were 25 new builds at a housing estate in Kildare, sold within minutes. Buyers who had slept overnight in their cars secured many of the properties. So obviously, in a housing market, if supply is less than demand or supply is greater than demand, that's going to have a knock-on effect on the housing prices. And as you can see, there's not enough houses and a lot of people waiting to bid on them. So therefore, they can command a premium for these houses, and the prices, quite frankly, are stunning. I live in County Down, and the prices for properties up here, which is a reasonably nice area of Northern Ireland to live in, are nowhere close to this. In fact, for the money that they're looking for a 2-bedroom terrace in Kildare, hell's bells, you could buy yourself a 4 or 5 bedroom detached house up here on the coast. These houses consisted of 2 and 3 bedroom homes in Harper Lane, a housing estate in Leixlip, County Kildare, which opened in 2022. So new development, looks nice, seems to be in a desirable area, which is going to have an effect on the prices also. The 2-bedroom houses were priced at €460,000, while the 3-bedroom homes ranged from €495,000 to €535,000, €500,000 for a 3-bedroom house, and it's a semi-detached by the looks of it. Honestly, stunning figures, at least where I'm coming from. I can't get over the price of those houses, but again, supply and demand. It's a seller's market at this time. A booking deposit of $5,000 was required to secure a home, with an additional 25,000 due on signing of the contract. So you need 30 grand just up front just to secure one of these homes. €30,000 just to secure a 2 or a 3-bedroom home in Kildare. Those conditions, standard for many new builds, did little to deter the crowd, and all 25 of the new homes were gone in minutes, a number of hopeful buyers told the Journal. So some people got lucky, some people were very disappointed. I want to look at the winners and the losers here. Here we have a couple, Sean and Tatiana. Sean and Tatiana were unlucky, although they're looking quite happy. They're in their photograph, having their little takeaway coffees. They currently rent in County Kildare. They had secured a mortgage this week, were optimistic when they arrived to the viewing, and they thought, okay, this might be our shot. We turned up only to be told by the workers at the front we were 79th on the list. They've got a mortgage, young couple, working, everything lined up. No, you're number 79 and there's only 25 houses. The couple have been married for 6 years and had recently started attending house viewings. So they were obviously prepared to stump up the 30k, and they had a mortgage, but they were number 79 in the list. So that was a big no-no for Sean and Tatiana. Sorry about that, guys. One man that wasn't unfortunate, Yogesh. Yogesh says, we were so lucky. Yogesh had slept in his car Wednesday night in hopes of buying a house for his wife and son. Was one of the first through the doors of the sales office this morning. Well, what about that? He managed to secure one of the 3-bedroom homes, so he had plenty of cash to splash. at our Yogesh at around 7 a.m. We had little hope that we would actually be successful getting a home here. Well, Yogesh, I would have thought you were in with at least as much of a chance as any Irish person or anyone called. Anyway, Yogesh said we had little hope that we would actually be successful. When we first came here, we said that we would take anything, but we were so lucky to get the house we wanted. So Yogesh is happy. Sean and Tatiana, not so happy. Why is there this problem at the minute? Well, Social Democrat TD Aidan Farley said it was utterly shameful that people, including Yogesh, shameful that Yogesh had the need to sleep in their car overnight to have a chance of buying a house. He didn't mention Sean and Tatiana, two young people who had been married for 6 years, were saving up. They had the 30 grand ready to go. They had a mortgage lined up. Didn't mention Sean and Tatiana, who were unlucky. We're talking about how it was unfortunate that Yogesh, who was lucky to get a house, had to sleep in his car overnight. Well, guess what, Aidan? There's at least 15,000 Irish people homeless at the minute. They probably don't even have a car to sleep in, period. They're relying on emergency accommodation, hostel accommodation, sofa surfing, call it what you want. They don't even have a car to sleep in, let alone to sit outside a development to spend €500,000 and secure a property. What about a little bit unfortunate about those people? This is the level of desperation that people feel when trying to build a home in Ireland. Buy a home in Ireland. Building a home, the builders aren't crying their way to the bank at the minute, but the Irish homeowners or potential homeowners most certainly are. Farley said in a statement, it's a damning indictment of failed housing policy by successive governments, which has resulted in a chronic undersupply of homes. It's the same old, same old. It's the same old excuse for everything, year in and year out. Oh, it was the previous government. Oh, they should have done something about this. We have inherited this. It's been a mess for a long time and nothing has been done by anybody to address it. These are the very real consequences of the last government not even coming close to meeting their own exaggerated housing targets. According to the CSO, a total of 30,330 homes were built in 2024, a decrease of 6.7% on 2023. So as more people are flooding into Ireland, they're building less houses, and they weren't building enough houses to begin with. Pause and think about that. As more people come into Ireland, the demand for housing is greater. But as the demand for housing increases, they're building less houses. And they're building less houses now than they were last year when there was less people. The government has been widely condemned for the decrease, as former Minister for Housing Darragh O'Brien and then Taoiseach Simon the Scarecrow Harris had promised voters that 40,000 homes would be completed last year. They promised 40,000 and they delivered 30,000. Sinn Féin leader, of course, Mary Lou, wasn't slow taking the microphone to throw some muck their way, and in this case, deservedly so. She said the 40k figure was pure fiction and a load of bull. That's rich coming from Mary Lou, not like her to spout pure fiction and utter BS from her trap. But anyway, she stated that it was a trick designed to mislead the public. Wow, if anyone is good at tricking and misleading the public, allegedly, it would be Mary Lou McDonald. Mayhole Martin, housing number one issue for the government at the minute, says the Irish Prime Minister. He has insisted that housing is the number one issue for the Irish government. Is it? Is it? What's he done? What have they done? How many new starts have they had since they reconvened last month? It comes as he faced criticism over the use of housing data ahead of the general election. I think the government referred to this as misinformation and disinformation, or lies. Blatant, barefaced lies. They lied about what they were going to deliver. They lied about what they said they were on track to deliver. And there he is, sitting there, constipated, looking like he needs to go to the toilet, telling us that housing is his number one issue. Again, Mary Lou's referenced here, said that Harris deceived the electorate. Deceived the electorate? So what's being done about it? Has he been prosecuted? Has he been fined? Has he been told to resign or moved out of his position? No. He's just sitting there telling us it's his number one priority. It's a joke. It's an absolute joke. The number of homes in 2024 was lower than the official target of 33,000. And remember, they said they were close to 40k. They only delivered 30. Business resumed in the Dáil, the lower house of Parliament, on Wednesday, with housing policy, the government's response to Storm Eowyn, and the Occupied Territories Bill being raised as key issues. There's people still in the west of Ireland, still, over 2 weeks later, have no electricity. On Wednesday, McDonald accused Martin and Harris of repeating pure fiction during the general election campaign that 40,000 new homes would be delivered. Well, there you have it. Pure fiction, misleading the electorate, lying about numbers, deceiving. But there he is. He's still in place. Yogesh was able to sleep in his car and secure himself a tasty property in Kildare. Sean and Tatiana weren't so lucky. What does that say about what lies ahead for anyone else in Ireland, especially young people that are coming up trying to secure a place on the property ladder? It looks more and more unlikely. So that's leading to more and more people leaving and having a brain drain. It's grim. It's a grim situation. What do you think about what's happening at the minute? Are you young? Are you struggling? Are you middle-aged and struggling? Are you old and struggling to get a property in Ireland? Leave me your thoughts, comments, opinions and suggestions below. But for now, I'm Rick Munn. No Risk, No Reward Media, over and out.